Unscripted.
So Sony was able to actually accomplish something sort of under Microsoft's nose. And I find this to be very interesting because at the end of the day, this is exactly the type of thing and the type of technology that PlayStation has like, this is always something that, you know, they've always kind of been able to get these little things in that really up the value of their consoles and stuff like that. And so I felt like this was going to be a good video to sort of cover this. And of course, I'm going to link this in the description and you guys can check it out. But holy cow. Like, I'm reading this, and it makes it sound like something unbelievable, that like some kind of secret sauce or something. And I know it's not that, because I don't believe in secret sauce, first of all. But second of all, I just feel like Sony just has some wizards, some technicians and stuff, just doing a fantastic job sort of working with them and getting their hardware up to doing these incredible different things. And man, I just gotta say, what a fantastic time to be a PlayStation fan. They've really gone all out, and this gets me even more excited for the next generation in terms of the PlayStation 5. I'm sure that the Xbox Series X is going to be a fantastic machine for those interested in that platform in and of itself. I just feel like, for me personally, the games are the most important factor in determining what I want and what I'm going to actually play with. And so far, for me personally, it looks like PlayStation is the place to be, at least early on. I do think in a few years, we'll see a lot of great things coming from Xbox, but at that point, it'll probably be all but be over at that point. Sony will have completely won the sales situation. And on the Microsoft side, I know a lot of people will go, well, console sales don't matter because Microsoft is really doing this with they're going to have, Game Pass on phones and TVs. And my argument to that is, if you don't have content, you can have your stuff everywhere and it won't really matter. So unless you have that content, 100% it won't matter. Now, with that being said, I do feel like what Microsoft does have going for them is they do have a lot of studios, but what they don't have time. You know what I mean? That's the really bad part. They don't have the time to actually go out there and sort of take care of business the way that they should. Sony, on the other hand, have stuff like this, and it gets people even more excited. If this is possible with what they're doing on the PlayStation 5, what they're doing right now on PlayStation 4, just think about the features that we're going to get and how great the PlayStation 5 is actually going to be. So if you guys didn't know, Sony came out and they've been updating PlayStation 4 games in preparation for the PlayStation 5. Now, what we didn't know was that they were actually able to go out there and do things the way that they were actually able to accomplish this. Just sounds absolutely incredible to me. So the PS Plus collection of games on PS4 are getting massive load time reductions ahead of the PlayStation 5. And these are load time reductions on the PlayStation 4, mind you. So keep that in mind. So PlayStation Plus collection PS4 games Until Dawn and The Last of Us Remastered are having their loading times massively reduced by recent updates. While they've already reported on Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Remastered receiving such a patch, it now appears that Until Dawn has gotten one too. As proven by the video, which I'm going to link this article which has the video as well, we can see that Supermassive Games Until Dawn now loads up previous saved games almost instantaneously after the new update has been applied. Other titles such as God of War, Concrete Genie, Final Fantasy 15, and God of War 3 Remastered have also received such updates recently too. Now, what's interesting is that some of these games are part of the PlayStation Plus collection, which is, as you know, an array of free PS4 games that PS5 players will enjoy if they are subscribed to PlayStation Plus. Now, it's claimed, here's the interesting part, that these updates have been carried out in order to prep these games for the PlayStation 5 compatibility. This seemingly would seem to include faster loading times as enabled by the PS5's extremely quick solid-state drive. But who knows if it's going to improve frame rates too. Now, of course, the top 100 games supposedly are going to have big enhancements and things like that. So that's going to be very much something that a lot of people has to kind of pay attention to. Now, as of right now, as you all know, there's less than 10 PS4 games that will not work with the PS5. Additionally, a specially curated selection of PS4 titles will run under boost mode, allowing for improved frame rates, high resolution, and visuals in some instances. Now, you might go, well, what's the main time frames? What type of insane technology is this? So a before and after would be on one specific part. The Last of Us Remastered loads up at 1 minute 30 seconds on the PS4. Now, after this update, it loads up in 13 seconds. Another update is it shows the before. On the PS4, it loads up in 2 minutes, 3 seconds. And now it loads up in 13 seconds on the PS4. Now, keep in mind, this is PS4. These are titles that are loading up on the PS4 itself in 13 seconds. Now, here's the thing. these games are loading up faster on the PS4 after this update than games were loading on the Xbox Series S and X. So think about that. So other first-party titles are getting these load times reduced due to this new compression system that has been thought to have been introduced in preparation for backwards compatibility. This could be Oodle. This could be any of these types of things that Sony's been working with to try to get the PlayStation 5 compatibility and compression running that much better, which I think is going to be very important going forward. Now, of course, this part is speculation, but wow, think about what this would mean for the PlayStation 5 itself, being able to have games that could, if these games are loading that much faster on the PS4, think about what's going to happen once they're on the PlayStation 5. This new compression system seems head and shoulders above anything that we've seen from Microsoft or anybody else. Now, it's being speculated by some that this tech may have been quietly utilized in the development of Ghost of Tsushima as well. And I feel like that's something that is going to be absolutely incredible. So apparently, this goes even further. Until Dawn on PS4 Pro apparently has no load times for a while now. And it's really hard to say if it's really true or not, but this is according to the information. This is absolutely incredible to see that they're able to accomplish all of this stuff so far with realistically just using updates and things like that. I think that this is absolutely incredible. What we've been able to sort of get out of Sony at the end of this generation. And if you think about it, I don't know if any of you have played Ghost of Tsushima, but if you have played Ghost of Tsushima, then you're blown away by how quickly things load. And people actually didn't realize this, but the developers even commented that when it comes down to what Ghost of Tsushima did, they actually had to slow down the load screen so that they had times to show like the tips or whatever, because it was loading too fast. So that should be something that's really sounds absolutely incredible. And at the end of the day, I feel like Sony is they're onto something pretty incredible themselves, just by having this type of technology. Now, will this technology be exclusive? I think so, probably. If you think about it, when it comes to technologies and things like that, I feel like obviously the technologies themselves, this could be the Oodle Kraken stuff that Sony themselves were talking about, but these updates are just absolutely insane with what we've seen. And again, just goes to show you that Sony kind of has it all worked out and knows pretty much what they're doing when it comes to all this kind of stuff. So again, this is a fantastic to see, and as someone who is extremely happy with all the news that we've been hearing, because this is going to be a key part going forward. Again, one of my pet peeves going forward has always been the load times and stuff like that, and I think that that's going to be something that a lot of people sort of take for granted going into next generation. It's like, how did we ever live before we had these situations where we didn't have any kind of load times or anything like that? So yeah, extremely happy to see how this kind of stuff works out and things like that. I think it's going to be incredible to see that as well. What's very interesting here is there's also, speaking of loading time, if you were wondering how quickly the loading takes place on the PlayStation 5, because they were testing Devil May Cry Special Edition, a video has confirmed it now, pitting the PS4 version of Devil May Cry against the PC, Xbox One X, and PS4 version, and Sony's next generation console simply blows everything away in terms of loading times. And here's how they all stacked up. The PlayStation 5 loading time was 2 seconds, the PC loading time was 11 seconds, Xbox One X loading time was 17, and the PS4 was 22 seconds. So again, these are all greatly reduced loading times thanks to the PlayStation 5's solid state drive, which is one of the fastest that money can buy. And again, this is something that Sony obviously had an eye and a clue on, because this is exactly what a lot of people were wanting out of next generation, which was the ability to sort of be more immersed into these games and stuff like that. So again, this is fantastic news for everybody going forward. I of course will link all of this stuff so that you guys can see it, but to see the ability to to have these games run at such a frame rate and resolution, and I understand that not everybody's a console fan, and if you prefer PC, that's fine, but just to see that a piece of hardware that's $400, like the digital PS5, is capable of doing all the things that this is doing. The games that can get up to 120 frames, 4K, HDR, the fastest loading times in the world. Like that, to me, for $400, you have to just love that. You have to really kind of think and say, hey man, that we're living in a heck of a time right now where these companies can sort of do that and achieve these amazing things. Absolutely blows me away. I can't say enough good things about this, but I'm curious what you all think about it, and I would definitely appreciate your thoughts and opinions. Please let me know down below in the comments, or hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live MOH space Crapgamer, or PSN just Crapgamer. And I try to respond to everybody. I have been sick a little bit, so if I wasn't as fast, apologies there. But with that being said, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Please take a minute to consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. This is Crapgamer Reviews, and it really is just much appreciated that everybody comes out and supports the channel and stuff like that. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. All that great stuff. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.